Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions on Bounce TV and to our worldwide web viewers on www.sportsvisionsusa.com. Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams. How are you, sir?
What's up, player?
Man, I am excited. I'm so excited for Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
Oh, man, great game. I mean, that was hard to beat the first time they had it, but the rematch was even better, DJ.
Yes, it was. Of course, the wild card weekend is behind us. It's time to go full blast with the NFL, and looking forward to talking about that, too.
All right, with the Falcons, let's rise up.
All right, all that and more next on Sports Visions.
It's time to save during the Nissan Year of the Truck and SUV event at Headquarter Nissan. Now, save $4,500 on new Rogue. Save $10,000 on all remaining 2016 Nissan Titan XDs. And get America's best truck warranty. Take on any job with Nissan trucks and SUVs from Headquarter Nissan.
Yes, Columbus is a Nissan town. Now it's going to be a Titan town. $10,000 off 2016 Titans.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. Dale, I tell you what, man, I hadn't seen a more exciting college game, and I can't even remember, than what we saw at the national championship game on Monday night between Clemson and Alabama.
You know, like I said, DJ, from last year to this year, a classic. I mean, really, I could watch that game again. One of the biggest games that we've seen in a while, but really the excitement part. And, you know, really hats off to the Clemson Tigers. Really, they really stepped up when they really needed to.
Absolutely. And again, Bear Bryant, I'm sure, is turning over in his grave because, again, Nick Saban had an opportunity to tie him. And, of course, unfortunately, Dabo Swinney, who has an Alabama pedigree, 18 years over there, of course, played as a player and a coach. But he's taking that all of that energy and that new culture to Clemson now, and they're going to build a dynasty there.
I think they're on the way. DJ Dabo's been back to back in national championships games, and really, DJ, they just reloading up there at Clemson also. So really, that same pedigree is still in line with Dabo Swinney, and like I said, DJ. You know, that's about the only team I think could have beat Alabama.
Exactly. We've been talking about it, of course, last week leading into the game, and we knew that this Clemson team, although they lost a lot on defense off that team from 2 years ago, but again, Deshaun Watson was the main factor of why we thought that they could give this Alabama team, who many think has as many as 6 first-round draft choices on that defensive team. That's why we knew that Deshaun Watson could give those guys a run for the money.
Well, you know, everybody knew that Deshaun Watson was going to be trouble for Alabama, and really he did not disappoint anyone. Really, outstanding game on his half, 400-plus yards, 4 touchdowns, DJ, and really backing up last year game. I keep going back to the last year game because it really was just unbelievable to see how this guy played the second time they played against Alabama.
Over 800 yards that this guy has thrown against Nick Saban's defenses over the last 2 years, man. And that's just remarkable to think about, you know, again, how strong this Alabama defense has been the past 2 years. But this young man has been able to destroy them and make them look like mere mortals.
Really, DJ, when you start talking about, I think, Clemson might have won 99 plays, DJ, you know, and this guy throw 5 touchdowns. I mean, Deshaun Watson rushes 21 times for right up under 100 yards. Who would have thought that going into the game that they could run 99 plays against Alabama? And then the biggest thing, DJ, Clemson scores 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. Of course, getting down as many as 14 points in the first half. And, again, it's just a tremendous game, a tremendous effort, a great story. And, again, we talk about Deshaun Watson, but you have to love him because, again, off the field is where I think that he is really, really special because he comes from humble beginnings.
That's right.
And, again, Warwick Dunn, who you know the story when he was in the league. And
that's right.
He donated a lot of homes, habitat homes to needy families. Well, Deshaun Watson, his mom got one of those homes up in Gainesville, Georgia. So he grew up idolizing Warwick Dunn. And then to see a situation with his mother who has cancer, she has an opportunity to see him perform on the biggest stage and, of course, to bring home a national championship.
With really, DJ, and then if you really want the key to winning a national championship, start with a dual-threat quarterback. You know, start with somebody like, you know, Deshaun Watson. But you got to have a dual-threat quarterback. But really, he made things look so easy. You know, his receivers, hats off to the receivers. I mean, you know, you got, you know, the Colin Renfro kid. this 13, Alabama secondary has not covered this guy in 2 years.
Right.
And he makes some big catches. Mike Williams, I started questioning his heart, DJ. I thought they had knocked him out of the game or got in his head a little bit, but boom, fourth quarter comes around, this guy started making plays left and right.
Mike Williams, number 7, for those of you who didn't know his name. He's NFL ready, and again, you can expect big things at the next level with him. But, again, let's not lose sight of the fact, we're happy for Clemson, and I'm glad that Dabo and those kids got an opportunity to taste a championship, and because you and I both know exactly what it feels like to wear that championship ring and be called the national champion. Here it is for us 36 years later. 35 years ago, Ken Homer Jordan was the quarterback of that Clemson team. So I know that Clemson Nation, that Clemson Tiger Nation was feeling pretty much just like our Bulldog Nation. But they, of course, got an opportunity to get them a championship now. So, hopefully the Bulldogs can step up.
Yeah, let's get in line. Come on, Kirby.
Yeah, but in closing, I want to talk a little bit more about Nick Saban again. The bottom line is Vegas has them already as the preseason number 1, and of course the odds-on favorite to be back as national champions next year because they're just going to reload.
They're just going to reload, DJ. Like I said, they got bullets over there, and they just reload. We just don't know their names yet, but you can guarantee that Alabama's going to be in that top 4 somewhere, and maybe even Clemson, DJ. So one of the biggest things that I really enjoyed about the game, the great, I love how Nick Saban kind of sums up and still humble even in defeat that, he just didn't get his kids ready to play. But, really, I still think that offensive piece, the not having the offensive coordinator that they had through the season, I think that might have threw a monkey wrench in how something that was going. I think Jalen Hurts, you can't blame this kid. This kid played out of his mind, 18 years old, DJ. He still came to play. And then at this other piece, I think the defense got tired, DJ.
They did, but the biggest piece for me is when, of course, Bo Scarborough went down with a broken bone in his lower right leg in the third quarter and didn't come back because at that point he had around 90 yards and he was hit it for well over 100 yards. And again, he would have, he would have made those offensive drives more sustainable and running more time off the clock to keep the defense off the field to get some rest. By him being out that last almost quarter and a half, you know what? The game changed in that fourth quarter.
It changed in that fourth quarter because really, it was 1, 2, 3 and out. Alabama did that about 3 times, and by that time, Deshaun Watson had warmed up. His receivers started making plays. They started making plays all over the place. The defense turned up, and really, the momentum was just lost. Alabama lost that momentum.
Absolutely. But again, I want to just end by saying Jalen Hurts is, he has nothing to be ashamed of. This young man, 18 years old, just a couple of months ago, this guy was in high school, Dale. Now he was playing in the national championship game for the number 1 team in America. Well, we got the Senior Bowl coming up and a few all-star games as far as college football is concerned. Looking forward to doing that.
I'm looking forward to it, DJ. And one thing again, you think Nick Saban is going to be sitting there whining about losing the game? I guarantee you Nick Saban's going to be at the Senior Bowl. He's going to be checking out his players. He's going to make sure all his senior players are in that game. But one of the biggest things I know about Nick Saban, as soon as they can get back to the drawing board, they're on their way.
All right. We'll take a short break. This is Sports Visions.
When I decided to write a ton of world-famous music after I'd lost my hearing, people thought I was crazy. Just like the other day when I wanted chicken for breakfast. People thought I was crazy again. How'd everything play out? Let me tell you about it. I'll bet you $10 that you have heard the tune I'm singing now, because I went on to be the best composer of all time. Then I went down to Chick-fil-A and ordered their brand new egg white grill. The whole thing was 300 calories and seriously the best thing I've ever had. So to recap, I'm the best composer ever in the entire world. And Chick-fil-A's new egg white grill is really, 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 really good.
Chicken for breakfast. It's not as crazy as you'd think. Try Try the new Egg White Grill from Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. Now is our time for the Falcon Report. And again, Falcons, man, we already know that, they're rested. They've been healed. And, of course, their mind is set on playing Seattle.
Man, that's going to be a big game. I really look forward to this game, DJ, after they played them so well out there in Seattle and got one bad call and they lose the game. I've really been looking forward to them playing the Seattle Seahawks, and I think it's going to be a great game, man.
It's going to be a great game indeed, and I know all week long Coach Quinn has been trying to let the media know, hey, this is not a personal, thing between me and the team that I coached for. This is about, the Atlanta Falcons going against the Seahawks, and the Seahawks going against the Falcons. And I know that a few media guys wanted to make it personal, but he made that absolutely perfectly clear early in the week, so he put a stop to that.
Well, I hope the players are taking it personally, DJ, because they really outplayed Seattle out in Seattle. Earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just getting that bad call, turning the whole thing around. They were moving the ball offensively. Julio Jones had a great game. I don't think Richard Sherman wants too much of him, but at the same time, DJ, I hope they made some adjustments on offense because, Seattle, they remember that game very well. So it's going to be an interesting game. And again, turn up on defense and get after Russell Wilson. I think that's going to be the key.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Matty Ice. Of course, Matt Ryan, he beat out Tom Brady for the first team All-Pro quarterback.
Whoa.
So that's big time. And again, you can expect some, and with them selecting him first team over Tom Brady for the All-Pro team, MVP is not too far away.
Not too far away, DJ. And like I said, man, Matt Ryan has done a great job this year, DJ. Leading in all categories, highest quarterback rating there is, to beat out Tom Brady. That's huge, and that ain't got nothing to do with the 4 games that Tom Brady missed. But Matt Ryan has been the most consistent quarterback. I think the receiving core is still we're underrated at this point, DJ, but they still have been able to do some great things on the offensive side of the football. I look forward to seeing how can the Seattle Seahawks try to stop these guys. I think really the running game is going to be big, DJ, because, again, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, these guys got to turn loose also and kind of slow the game down in a sense. But you don't want to be able to have to depend on throwing the ball 75-80% of the time.
But the fact of the matter remains is that Matty Ice has the NFL record throwing to 13 different receivers. Now, no quarterback in the history of the game has done that, but he's been able to make that work. And you know what? That's big news when you got an all-pro guy over there that everybody in the stadium is going to try to cover, and Julio. And then, of course, these young receivers that, of course, who just came on the scene, man, blossomed. And that's just a credit to the scouting staff and the coaches with the Falcons.
Well, it's nothing like making a receiver happy. And when you got a great quarterback like Matt Ryan and you're a receiver, you got to be excited about playing because you're going to get the ball. Just like you said, 13 different receivers have caught TDs from Matt Ryan. That's big, and he distributes the ball so well. I just want them, be able to, if their offense is clicking, and the defense is rolling and we can get after Russell Wilson, I think the Falcons going to surprise a lot of folks.
Let's talk about the other side of the ball. And at first, we got to start at the top of the list. Of course, this young man, just a second year in the league, of course, named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And again, the Atlanta Falcons hadn't had a Defensive Player of the Week, of the month, Defensive Player of the month. The last 4 weeks of the season, Vic Beasley. And of course, the Falcons hadn't had a Defensive Player of the month since Jesse the Hammer Tuggle.
Whoa,
that's over 20 years ago.
That's a long time right there, player. But I think really the Dwight Feeney piece coming in camp, teaching them some moves, that spin move, and really he's playing a whole lot smarter, DJ, being a good pass rush, not just running down the field and trying to get to he's got different angles. He's got great flexibility, DJ. He can turn the corner on you, and you can see the difference in the things that Dwight Feeney showed him, that that's the reason he's got 15-plus sacks and led the whole NFL with sacks.
Absolutely. And again, some of the other standouts in my mind, Deion Jones, the outstanding rookie linebacker from LSU, can run all over the field, make plays. This guy, like I said, you're going to be hearing a lot more from him. This, had a couple of interceptions for touchdowns. And again, all over the field, understanding his role and, just the youth of this defense excites me because I know that they could only get better.
And really, one thing that people underestimate with their defense, they are fast. And I'm talking about from the lineman on, they are real fast. I think that Deion Jones, that's who needs to spy on Russell Wilson is Deion Jones, because if he's rushing the passer and he's a spy and Russell Wilson gets flushed out of the pocket, he's the guy that I want on him.
Absolutely. Now, I know that, there have been a few distractions. The Falcons offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan, who dad is Mike Shanahan. I played for the Broncos, and Mike Shanahan was the quarterback coach with the Broncos prior to him becoming the head coach of John Elway's Super Bowl teams. And you know what? This young man, and that's where everybody's going, to these young coaches, Dale. And we're going to come up in just a little bit and talk on the wall about these young coaches. But Kyle Shanahan is a brilliant offensive mind, grew up in the system, grew up watching his dad and going to practice, watch the Broncos. And so he was just almost like, how some kids whose dads are basketball coaches or it's like a gym rat. He would come to the field, and he would go in the film room. He'd go in the equipment room. He knew all the players. So it's no surprise that Kyle Shanahan's football IQ is at the level it is.
And really, you would expect that, coming from Mike, his dad, who's a great offensive coordinator. He can come up with some play. But really, hats off to Kyle Shanahan this year, DJ. Because really, I was questioning this guy last year. Be able to bring Matt Ryan back to the place that he needs to be, distributing the ball everywhere, having a balanced offensive attack. Really, hats off to him, DJ. And I'm sure, Dan Quinn knows that he's going to get some offers out there. And I think as soon as the season over, we'll see where he's going, because I see him going somewhere, player.
All right, now let's take a look at our Crown Royal NFL Picks of the Week.
All right, our NFL playoff picks of the week. We got the Atlanta Falcons playing the Seahawks on Saturday. The New England Patriots will play the Texans on Saturday. And on Sunday, you got the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you got the Dallas Cowboys playing the Green Bay Packers. Don't forget to email all your picks to Dale Williams at sportsvisionsusa.com on Saturday.
Dedicado al chofer designado, sigue reinando.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're gonna be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, you might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out.
Bummer, man. Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to. Keep your lifestyle healthy with
Aflac!
Why do we have Aflac?
Aflac!
And Major Medical?
Major Medical, boy, yeah!
I help pay the doctor. Ain't that enough for you?
There are things Major Medical doesn't do.
Aflac!
Pays cash so we don't have to fret.
Something families should get.
Like a safety net.
Even helps pay deductibles to cover your back with.
Learn about one-day pay at aflac.com/wrap.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. Now it's time for us to do one of our favorite on-the-wall segments. And it's been a while since we've been doing it, but we do these segments because you either email us, Facebook us, some way on social media, you get a question or you get a request to us to give our take on it. And this week we're talking about, of course, the new millennial players and the coaches that are being considered and to again, factor into this new coaching industry in college and pro and even high school, Dale.
Really, DJ, everybody likes a player's coach. Some guys, you take the Nick Sabans, you take the Belichicks of the world, they have a great system. And everybody doesn't fit in their system, DJ. But then you take Dabo Swinney. You got a guy, a fun guy, that loves his kids and makes sure that they're having fun. That's the transition. That's the millennial coach right there, the Kyle Shanahan piece. These guys are developing, and the younger players like these kind of guys because they're player coaches, and they do things a whole lot differently, and you don't have to fit into the system. They create the system themselves for their players. You don't have to feel, you don't have to be in Belichick's system. You don't have to be in Saban's system. But now the Dabos of the world, the young coaches of the world, these guys like a coach that they really like playing for.
And I think what you hear is that, again, the culture has changed as it will for coaches now, because the coaches are becoming more younger, and these are offensive and defensive geniuses that you're hearing about as defensive and offensive coordinators on the pro level and even on the college level being considered for these big jobs, the head jobs, because they are closer to the generation of the kids that are playing today. You and I played for Vince Dooley. Vince Dooley started coaching back in the 60s. There was a generation gap, but at the same time, we were a different kind of player. You know what? Our coach told us to run through a wall. He didn't have to give us any explanation. Today, the kids want you to come down on their level. They want to be able to have more of a open door.
That's right.
If you will. It's not, you're going to do it this way and that's the only way. It's my way or the highway, because the kids will take the highway.
That's right. Really, right now, you can't coach them hard. Like they say, we got coached hard. We got coached by guys that were passionate and they believed in their system, and you had to abide by their system. Well, nowadays, you got the Dabo Sweeneys of the world. He wants players. He's going to have some players, but he's going to make it fun for those players. And I think one thing, when you look at Dabo Swinney over the few years that he's been at Clemson, he has big-time players, and they enjoy playing for him. And I think that's Clemson's key right now. Nick Saban, if you're Belichick, these guys win. And, of course, you're going to want to play for them, DJ. But the ones that you got to get the younger kids and you kind of mold your system into their skill set, then you really got something.
You said a mouthful there, but again, going back to Dabo Swinney, and again, when you talk about these recruiting these young kids, because there are only a couple of Sabans and maybe one other, as you mentioned, Belichick. Those guys, like you said, they have their systems in place, and it's understood when you go in the door, you're going to go in and you're going to adjust. But these other coaches, they're not, they don't have this high ability. They don't have this high winning percentage, and they don't have that crown that those two coaches wear. So I'm happy to see Dabo, a guy who can dance a little bit and play and laugh and joke with his kids after they've done something well, and it's not so stoic and not so, you're not going to get in my head, but can have fun and be real and understand that, when it's time to play, we play, but when it's time to work, we work. That's right. I like that, and I think we're going to see more and more of that throughout high school, college, and in the NFL.
Really, DJ, you gotta find a coach that's going to match up with the talent level. You got to make sure that they're having fun, and you got to find out what does a player do well, so I can groom my own system. But at the same time, I'm making it fun for my guys.
All right, Dabo Swinney, you're setting the standard. Back-to-back national championship runs, of course, winning it this year. We're gonna keep our eyes on you, buddy.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're going to be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, you might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out.
Bummer, man. Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to. Keep your lifestyle healthy with
Aflac.
And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions. And Dale, I can't say enough about Deshaun Watson and how proud I am, man. But I'm kind of sad to see him go, because he's declared that he's going to take his talents to the next level, and he's declared for the NFL.
Well, DJ, he deserves everything that he gets, going back from the humbling beginnings to now. This kid is a playmaker. I think, whoever gets him, they're going to get a big-time quarterback that can play right now.
Absolutely. And, again, when you talk about Clemson and all the great players that we know, of course, from Terry Kennard and, Homer Jordan back in our era, and Cliff Austin, man, I know those guys are having a wonderful time. Bubba Diggs down there in Augusta right now. But, those are just some guys that we knew that were Of course, fans of ours at Georgia, as well as, of course, unless we played on the field, but we're happy that they have gotten them a championship, and I hope that they are hoping that we can get one soon.
I hope they are too, because we need one too, man. Can we get one next year? But at the same time, DJ, that Clemson, that Georgia, and that Clemson rivalry piece, that was a big-time rivalry. And really to see Homer and the Perry Tuttles of the world, the Kennards of the world, these guys that we used to go at it, DJ, on the, during the games when we played them, and then just party with them off the field. But at the same time, there was no love and hate between Georgia and Clemson back in those days, player.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit before we get out of here. Let's talk a little bit about the Atlanta Hawks, who seem to have been playing their way back to respectability. The news of the week has been, of course, Kyle Korver going over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James has requested the spot-up shooter, and again, he has been a tremendous three-point shooter. But in the deal, Mo Williams and Mike Dunleavy come down. In addition to that, a conditional first-round draft choice and some cash. So not too bad for Coach Bud and the Hawks.
I mean, that's a sweet deal. Sound like a DJ, but really, if Mo Williams and Mike Dunleavy can come in and be that three-point shooter that the Hawks really need, DJ, that's going to be a great acquisition for the Atlanta Hawks, and probably would spark a little run by them, because really they're up and down right now. They can't get on a long streak, but they're up and down, and I know these two guys play defense.
Absolutely. And again, as far as a little NFL action to finish it off, we talked about the Atlanta Falcons and Seahawks, but the other matchups in the NFC, the Cowboys and, of course, the Green Bay Packers. And on the AFC side, when you talk about the Houston, the Texans
That's right.
going up to New England, and then you have Pittsburgh going out to KC.
I mean, that's going to be big-time games all this week, man. Again, we got a whole lot of football left, DJ, but, to go to Foxborough, Massachusetts, to play the New England Patriots, that's going to be a big task for the Houston Texans, but they do have a defense, DJ, so their job is to get after Tom Brady. But I think the biggest game, other than the Falcons and Seahawks, that Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboy game is going to be big, because Aaron Rodgers is on fire, player.
And you know what? And I know that as soon as our Falcons take care of business with the Seahawks, either one of those guys, again, either the Packers going to have to come to the Dome,
That's right.
or we will go out to Jerry's World.
I think really, and the Falcons can win both of these games, DJ, just, if they just turn up. The Falcons going to do some big things and go into that Mercedes-Benz Stadium next year, man. Might play in the Super Bowl.
Well, we better get ready, man, to relax, because we got a lot of football, more playoff games today and tomorrow. So we'll have an opportunity to enjoy the playoffs. And, hey, man, we get ready to make those trips down to the Senior Bowl.
That's right. The Senior Bowl is going to be big. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to Sportsville.
Well, that's going to do it for all the time we have for today's show. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week.
Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you.
It's time to save during the Nissan Year of the Truck and SUV event at Headquarter Nissan. Now, save $4,500 on new Rogue. Save $10,000 on all remaining 2016 Nissan Titan XDs. And get America's best truck warranty. Take on any job with Nissan trucks and SUVs from Headquarter Nissan.
Yes, Columbus is a Nissan town. Now it's going to be a Titan town. $10,000 off 2016 Titan.